So close it in the back. One man I want to from the Yanalo. What's it for me? Tantra, yes, guitar, water, disco, thank you. I'm very sorry, I guess. One of them is so one. One of them.
We have numerous of challenges in the country here when we talk about fishery sector. One of them is inadequacies in our legal framework to fight and deter IUU fishing, and also our responsibility to international obligation, which Ghana is a signatory to. We also have vessels that fish in Ghana waters and fly our flag, and they are not following the laws of the country. And that is why we need this framework to punish them, so it will deter them from doing all those things. We also have transshipment at sea, popularly known as ice cycle, between the trawler and the canoes. When the trawlers go for fishing on the high sea, then the canoes will go, and when they catch the juveniles, they sell to them on the high sea. And so it's also one of our challenges. And we also have issue to our regulations. That is Act 625 of the Fisheries Regulations 2010. The National Plan of Action to prevent and deter and eliminate IUU in accordance with the International Plan of Action to combat IUU is also another challenge. And no marine fisheries management plan as required by our Act Section 42 to 45 of the Fisheries Act 2002. We also have weak monitoring, control, and surveillance of the fleets on our waters. And the measures we are taking is first to enact our Fisheries Act amendments. And this is the Act 2014, Act 880 of the Fisheries, and then discharge international obligation. I mean, if we use this, we are able to amend this, our acts, we'll be able to discharge our international obligation. Apart from that, we also need to establish and operationalize fisheries enforcement units. We have them, but they are not enforced. And this is where we have some of the issues with the Section 94 of our Fisheries Act 625. And the law of the Fisheries Commission policy, and then the Attorney General with an officer of the Ghana Navy as the head at the office of the enforcement unit. We need to make sure that we have all these people there. We also need to prepare and adopt and implement the national planning of action, plan of action against the IUU. And we are also implementing the vessel monitoring system and automatic identification system. And we are also deploying observers on board when they go for the fishing expedition. We put in our observers to observe. And we have also prepared and gazetted our implementation marine fisheries management plan. We have done this. We are also implementing closed season in the country. We all know that every year Ghana observes closed season. And this year, we are also going to do it from the 1st of July to the end of July for the artisanals. And then 2 months, that is 1st of July to the end of August for the industrial or the trawlers. The tuna section also do their closed season for 3 months. That is January to March. And these are some of the ways we are doing to, curtail the challenges. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Minister. Some really good examples. I think this brings out the point.
I said, it's very difficult to be an African in Africa. When the young man, one of my sons, I think he's from the office of the president, said that Ghana is a net importer of something, I said, we are a net importer of ideas. Mainly because we don't look at ourselves. What do we have? And what can we build on? I came this afternoon really to listen to my very good son, who is a rear admiral. I always enjoy him. But I heard a lot. For this whole 2 days, I have really learned a lot. More about the other Africa and less about my Africa. There are two Africas. Peter Ekes will tell you, there are two publics. Most of you belong to the colonial Africa, so you live in coloniality. And I live in the other Africa. When the gentleman was talking about, I think Mr. Dixon, Dr. Dixon, was talking about that we don't look at the sea. I live at the sea. I look at the sea all the time. I live with fishermen. As of now, I'm even trying to learn the names of the stars. But they've forgotten them. How many of us know that Abrawana number is the Milky Way? And that when we say Yankopon de Bakwesikoto, much as we're talking about the scorpion, we're also talking about the Scorpio, the star Scorpio. My name, Nana Kobna Nketia, is a god of the sea. How can I have the name of the sea and not be interested in the sea? So traditionally, we've been interested in this thing, but it's just that the new kind of learning that is making us who we are as a tabula rasa, always putting institutions on us, makes us go without. And when my good friend there, the ganja man, where is he? That was a great lesson today. But yesterday was really good, and today is equally good. And when I saw, in fact, the welcome address by Dr. Owusu really blew me. I said, whoa, we have Africans who think like this? I was very surprised. In fact, when I got the invitation, I was even shocked. Office of the President inviting me for something like this. I want to sit in my village and look in the real. If you've never lived at the shore, on the coastline, you'll never know what poverty is. So when you're talking about this blue economy, we made so much noise about the hydrocarbon. And what has it done to us as a people? Who benefits from that oil in the sea? And yet the fishermen cannot go to, what's the name of it? Where Tallow, Cosmos, and the rest have their thing, because they will damage the equipment there, in whose interest? So these are things that, hey, I'm seeing enemies here. So these are things that provoke thoughts. When Lady Ingrid, sorry that I'm not used to saying excellency. I have a problem with the word excellency. I can't translate it into Fanti. So anytime somebody says it, I look at him like this. But on the more serious side, and she talked about how she loved the sea. She brought me home to my base, because I know what the sea means to me and what it means to my people. and so on and so forth. So the challenge is also to look within. When the young man from the political office, when he was talking